Hello, everyone, and welcome to Downtime with John and Emily, the how-to podcast by siblings who don't know anything. I'm your co-host, John Downey.
And I'm Emily Downey. Why are we talking like this?
I want to keep things upbeat for once. We're too downtrodden. Downey? There's something there. Our last name is Downey, and so you can make some fun puns sometimes.
You were doing like anime recap speak. Hi everyone, it's John from Downtime with John and Emily. Man, that last episode was a doozy.
My name's John from Downtime with John and Emily. If you want to hire me to dub your anime, call me.
And make sure you have a script.
Email me at downtime@theoutlawsnetwork.com.
That was John. Anyways, whatever. I don't know our email
Emily,
address.
we're not made of money. We don't have personal email addresses.
Individual. Well,
you and I have one email address, and that's
that would
it.
make us individually responsible for emails, which would be very bad.
Well,
we can barely manage
yours
it
would go unused. As of right now, you can claim 50% of our actual email account, which is disingenuous, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I do nothing. That's I have another job.
No, you do a lot, Emily.
I do a lot. I just want to talk about all the things I do real quick. So I have this job that sometimes I struggle with. I have a church job where I'm a singer.
Are we literally we're just gonna do our resumes here really quick?
I'm just letting you know.
Job opportunities?
John, it was called a segue. You're gonna have to get on board.
Were you segueing to my thing? Because I was supposed to do the opener. Okay. No, I'm on it.
I told you I was doing it.
No, I got you.
Does that the sound that I've never been on a segue before?
I don't think they make a lot of noise.
No, I had to sort of invent a segue noise. If anyone needs anyone to be a Foley artist for segues.
We also do that. Downtime at theoutlawsnetwork.com.
Foley's at theoutlawsnetwork.com. I was going to talk about something. Yeah, I was in church. And do you ever struggle with inappropriate laughter when you're in church?
You know I do. Specifically in church, You know I do.
Yeah, it's bad because church is funny. I don't know why. Things become a million times funnier at church. And the problem is I'm an adult woman who's there being paid to do a job.
Yep.
And I'm not allowed to laugh at things, especially things that no one else can understand or hear because they're just running through my head. And so for no reason at all during the homily at this church that I work at, the phrase kept coming to me over and over and over, unrelenting.
Mm-hmm.
Just the phrase, poop the bed. Just like, for some reason, it was the only thing I could think about.
Why don't people say poop the bed more often? That's so much better than shit the bed.
It was really fun. Like, I was like, why is poop the bed the funniest thing I've ever thought my whole life? And also the only thing I can think. And of course it happened when I'm like at a church while people are like worshiping. And, you know, it can be lighthearted, but ultimately is a serious venue, you know? Yeah. And so just poop the bed.
That's incredible.
I was a little worried I was going to actually shit the bed last night because, you know, I kept saying poop the bed to myself so many times during the day.
Manifested it.
I manifested myself shitting the bed. I can't even prepare for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I struggle because I'm a tenor, so I have tenors to deal with, and they think they're just such fucking jokesters.
Oh my God, ours too. Ours are being extra sassy.
Yeah, that's tenors. Don't worry, that's global. That's all over. That's just a tenor thing. That's a truth, just a global truth. But the problem is that the tenor that always leans over to make jokes to me is married to my boss at that job.
No.
His wife is the director of the whole choral program, and she's my boss. So he's leaning over to me, making jokes at me, trying to make me laugh, knowing that I'm getting paid to be there by his wife. It's like,
oh my
you
God.
Can't do this. You're not, this is bait, this is baiting, this is entrapment. You're an asshole.
Yeah, this is entrapment. This is not okay.
It didn't help that this past Sunday, the service was all about, because it's right after Easter, so it was all about the apostles like seeing Jesus when he resurrected, and I forget the apostle that like doubted, that was like, I need to see him to believe it, and he was like, he specifically says in the gospel, I need to put my finger in the holes on his hands, and I need to put my hand in the stab wound in his side. And it's like,
it's a pretty fucked up thing to want.
It's pretty fun. That's the thing, is like, he was cracking jokes at me the whole time, like, this fucking pervert. Like, you can't do this. You're here to worship.
Oh my God.
Yes, he's a pervert, clearly.
We used to have a tenor who has since quit, but I think it's related that he has quit because he used to be a minister.
Uh-huh.
And so all he would do was mutter about how the minister of the church was like, he'd just be like, well, that's one interpretation or whatever. Like, always like shit talking the sermons and the homilies is like, well, that's one way to think about it. Or, I mean, technically it was this or blah, blah, blah. And he like had all these opinions about things. And then apparently like his son was also a minister at this church, but his son was like very communist Jesus, like 100% communist Jesus.
Like,
Jesus said it was cool to kill your landlord.
Yeah.
You know, because he did.
Like what?
But
like the way that Jesus actually was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. And like very, very like open and upfront about how like
I'm talking big shit, like I fucking knew the guy.
Just like everything. Jesus. Just like, hey, you know, this is where we are vis-a-vis like racial equality, and you know, that was like during 2020 and all that stuff. And he was like really open about how we could be doing better and all this other stuff. And then his dad like quit. I was like, quit choir, quit coming. And I was like, damn.
That's rad as hell. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
that's rad as hell for both of them, honestly.
His dad just stopped like, coming. He was
that's a
like,
power play on both of their parts.
He was like, I'm not coming anymore because my kid is like full on communist Jesus, man. Sick. He also made me hella uncomfortable though, because he had like big old youth pastor vibes. Like he was like pretty attractive and like insisted on
Jesus one?
Yeah, and insisted on playing his electric guitar during homilies.
Not
and
an
singing.
Electric guitar. That's not even cliche
what's
anymore.
It called? What's it called when it's acoustic electric?
That's what it's called.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was one of those. And he'd be like, sing with me. And he'd like really step on the toes of the music director because he's technically doing music and he's not supposed to because it's my job to do music and he's doing music.
I'm over here trying to curate a vibe throughout the entire service, and he's just going off with his acoustic electric guitar all willy-nilly.
Yeah, he's completely outside the theme. I wasn't even consulted, you know? Like, it was a wild time.
Not taking the hymns into consideration whatsoever.
There was so much huffing. Funny. There was so much huffing with communist Jesus pastor. It was great because I was awesome. Like, I'm pretty down. I want to buy this guy a beer, and he would probably be amenable to that. And then the people in the congregation were like, I'm not so sure about this. And then his dad's mad behind me, and then my boss is mad in front of me because he's doing music, and it was exciting time.
Yeah.
Anyways, church can be interesting if you're so bored that you make anything interesting.
Church can be interesting when you're lucid and paying attention and not just going there half asleep, not paying attention.
Learning how to sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah, right.
Staring at your hands.
Like we would go to church as kids, and like I wouldn't fucking pay attention to church when I was a kid. I'm not listening to what they're saying. But now I'm an adult and I'm getting paid to be there, and I can kind of like be a third party, like to everything that's going on. Like I can sit in the pew and pay attention and listen to the things with like a grain of salt, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like almost I can take in the things that they're saying almost better than I think a lot of people who are actually there to worship can. I don't know. Maybe that's not correct. Maybe that's not.
Maybe
cool.
It's skewed. But yeah, I don't know. I'm paid to be here. Like, right. I might as well tune in every now and then. It just depends on my mood. And like sometimes I'll like tune in and be like, oh, that's an interesting thing. And then I'll come home and tell Taylor what the Methodists are talking about this week, you know?
Yeah. God,
and then sometimes I fall asleep with my eyes open.
It's what kills me is it's always trying to be like a super in touch sermon. Like the sermons are always trying to be like super up to date with like current events. Like they're always trying to pepper in current events with things, and it's like they miss the mark. I would say 80% of the time. I would say particularly I don't want to talk about this on the podcast at all. I didn't want to talk about it at any point, but
but I'm going to now
sermon,
because this is
no,
scripted.
because I'm talking about the sermon, not about the event. But this was a sermon that started out talking about the slap at the Oscars. And it was like,
oh God!
Not only so, first of all, the Oscars happened the Sunday before, so you're a full 7 days late to this.
Yeah. And
it's
there's
just
so many memes about this already.
And
like,
it's so like you're so far off of this already, and also the scripture lesson for today is like so far off of what you're trying to like bridge. You're trying to bridge this impossible gap, and I just don't know why you felt like you had to try.
Oh my God. I feel like it's so far off now that we can joke about it because the memes aren't funny anymore.
No, and everyone knows it.
It was just a weird cultural moment that it's like, why do we care about this? Yeah. I don't care about this.
No. You know what I do care about? How to store lemons. No, that's not the episode.
Maybe next time. I don't know. Definitely don't zest a lemon and then put it in the refrigerator.
Look, Emily, we had an opener. It's over. We don't have to do
I'm just a tidbit.
We don't have to do a bonus how-to today.
I'm not expanding on it.
Hey, here's the thing though. We're probably going to have one next time because Lord knows we have nothing to talk about ever. Because my life, I'm in 100% wedding mode now until the end of the month, and then probably a little after that as well. But we're so burned out for actual like current event content. There's nothing there. So we probably will resort to doing another bonus how-to. For next week, just to keep it fresh in your mind, do you have the theme song for that segment in your head still?
My brain wants to go, what theme song? No, I don't remember.
In short, no. Great. Okay. So it's finals time, Emily.
I don't remember having it be like a tune at all, really.
It was kind of nondescript.
Like freestyle.
Yeah, it was kind of jazzy,
rapping,
actually. So
like...
it makes sense. Maybe you just make it up fresh every time, and maybe that's better.
I think it was more like beat poetry.
It was it was kind of it was showy. It was like Moulin Rouge, like
skedat.
Yeah.
Talk singing a little. Do you remember the lyrics? Do you remember what the name of it was?
No, Emily, this is your homework. You're going to go away from this recording and you're going to say, okay, I'm either going to go back and listen to last episode and get it and transcribe it onto sheet music.
It's like, it's a mini how-to, and then we're doing it now. Oh, okay, there we go.
That honestly might be better than what you had before. You can either do that,
how-to
or you're gonna.
It just did.
It's the bonus how-to showroom, is what the segment is called.
It's the bonus how-to showroom.
It's pretty, I think,
maybe.
So you can either commit to going back and listening to it and replicating it perfectly every time, or you can commit to making it up fresh on the spot every time.
That's gonna be really difficult for me, but also I think like my tunes are always the same tune, and it's the one I just did.
Yeah.
It never changes because I'm not a composer. So anytime I have to think of something, it's always gonna it's gonna be loose and terrible every single time.
It's finals time, Emily. Kind of, maybe. It's May. That's when finals happen, right?
Yeah, depending on who you are.
Early May is usually like college graduation time.
I think it's like mid to late April, and then early May starts graduation season. I think.
Yeah, so there's probably a couple people still doing finals at this point.
Yeah, I think I went to school and we got out early.
Yeah.
And I think I graduated on like May 5th or something. So if you're in the north, then yeah, you're doing finals times.
Finals times. There's a lot of people out there who are struggling right now with staying motivated and staying on task, and this is not none of that is what we're talking about today. That's,
None of it's
I
good.
mean, you do
what
need
we're
to
good
stay
at.
on task to do what we're going to talk about. As I'm
You'd have to
sure.
stay motivated.
Yeah, absolutely. But
I
that's
lost
not really
motivation
like,
through many a finals season
yes.
because it's nice out now, and you know what goes well with nice out? Drinking during the day.
Yeah,
And that's
me
not good.
me not being inside studying.
Yeah, no, inside
But it goes
studying
nice
plus nice weather. There was always like, we'll go study on the quad. And then you
No, you
never
won't.
study on the quad.
No, you won't.
You're going to bring your little blanket and you're going to spend so much time preparing to study outside that you will have completely run out of time to study outside once you're outside.
You're going to prepare a whole picnic. You're going to pop a bottle of wine. You're going to go out. You're going to get your picnic out, and then you're going to eat the picnic, and then you're going to be tired, and
I'm sleepy.
The sun is going to make you too sleepy, and you're going to go inside, and you're not going to study at all.
Turns out I can't read my laptop in the sun.
It's hard. It's tough.
Don't study on the quad. It's not real. You can't do it.
No. The quad
Unless it's like flashcards and a buddy.
The quad
and
is
if
a
you're
myth.
to that level of studying, then you don't even need to study anymore because you already made the fucking flashcards, all right? The making of the flashcards is the studying.
Oh, I don't know, man. I disagree. That was going to be my main tip for this. We're talking about how to cram for a test. That's the how-to for today, as I'm sure you know because you clicked on this. And you would have to have read it to click on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
assuming we're still using laptops. They're just like, who uses a laptop anymore or a computer? We're all just on our phones.
No.
You tapped it more than likely.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
You can click. What are you, 80?
Or you're listening to this maybe in like 4 years when this show is actually good and you wanted to go back and listen to the whole backlog and it's just kind of like rolling on just nonstop, automatic.
You have such high hopes for us. Meanwhile, we're like the list of how-tos that we could possibly do is like dwindling.
It's not. We have an infinite list of how-tos to do in the form of WikiHow's random article section. Thank you, WikiHow.
Thank you. Teach me how, WikiHow. See, I remember that one. It was stolen.
It was stolen whole cloth from Blue, the dog.
No,
the world's greatest detective, Blue.
Blue was not a detective.
It was Blue's clues. Oh,
Blue left clues.
Yeah, because Blue was able to figure it out before Steve ever could.
No, John, that was not the premise of the show. You learned nothing. They would get bored and they would do another Blue's Clues where Blue would wanted Steve to guess something so that they could hang out together, and then Steve would have to deduce using 3 clues where Blue is or what Blue is doing or what Blue has hidden. Right. Like Blue would hide things. So Blue, if we extrapolate, could have been a criminal mastermind if Steve didn't keep her occupied with these silly little schemes. You know?
That's my headcanon now. Is that Blue was at one point a brilliant mastermind.
Yeah, and Steve has somehow reined her in.
Yeah.
To only doing these silly little things.
And now
also, so who moves without their dog?
Well, the dog.
Why did Blue stay?
Well, so Emily, we've already extrapolated it out. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of this deep lore. It's Blue's house.
Blue is their landlord.
No. Blue was the master criminal who had settled down and decided to just play silly games with these poor striped-shirted men.
These weak-willed men who come to live with her and have to entertain her.
And they go so far out of their mind that they start talking to the spices.
Paprika was adopted. Anyways.
Oh shit. No, Pepper was pregnant. Right? I think Pepper was pregnant. Fully.
Then it was a switcheroo. I'm sorry.
Well, I know. I think Pepper was pregnant, but I mean, look.
No, I mean Pepper definitely was pregnant, but
Paprika.
We didn't see.
Paprika was a redhead. It was definitely the mailman's kid. That's all I'm saying. Who is canonically in the show?
It was a male woman.
I don't know that we saw the mailbox, but I don't know that we ever saw a mail person.
I believe there was a mail carrier.
Oh, I don't remember a mail carrier.
I do remember the mailbox, though. This is a lot of Blue's Clues.
It's a lot of Blue's Clues.
I think, John, you need to rewatch some Blue's Clues, is what I'm getting from this.
To.
I know you would. You would.
I need to find that picture.
John was
there's a picture of me.
A Blue's Clues fanatic.
Yeah, there's a picture of me when I was like 8 years old, standing in my parents' bedroom, shirtless, just like the biggest smile you've ever seen on a kid, just like smiling at the camera with Blue's Clues playing in the background, like. That was the height of life.
This is my shit.
Yeah.
This is my shit right here. You see this? He's like in his tighty whities, like in front of the TV. Like, do you see this? This is my shit. And it's like a Polaroid picture. Right, it's a great picture.
It's a great picture. Did you go to the live showing of Blue's Clues with me? Hell yeah.
Yeah, and we went
got
backstage.
Our handy dandy notebooks.
Yeah. Signed by Steve, yes.
Signed by Steve.
Because we got to meet Steve.
Whatever Steve happened to be there at the time. It wasn't real Steve.
He did a great job.
He did a great job.
At least he was pretending to be Steve.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Joe didn't have that in him.
No. Or the newer guy.
I don't know who the newer guy is. I looked him up at one point because they're doing a movie now with all three of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. See that, and I'm very excited because I will watch it. And then we can bring you all that good Blue's Clues content that you crave.
Yeah, we'll try and trick the Bloody Stream guys into thinking it's a horror movie so we can talk about it on their podcast.
Maybe, yeah, or we can just bring our nephew like normal people.
True. Okay, how to cram for a test. Watch Blue's Clues. Is there anything that Blue's Clues would help with?
No. But we have elucidated what not to do, which is go down memory lane at all.
Shut
off. Memory lane leads to distraction, which leads to poor test results.
Correct.
Do not do it.
Yep.
How did you cram for tests, John? You don't strike me as someone who had to take a lot of tests.
I didn't by design.
Yep.
I got myself out of a lot of tests. When I did have to take tests, I was a big flashcard person. Getting myself to make the flashcards, very difficult. Not an easy thing to do. But once I had
Find a smart friend to make them for you.
Find a smart friend who's in your class who has made them already.
And
just say, hey, you're done with
this. And then, no, you don't do that. This was always my move. Or show up to the group study sessions where all the people who have been studying this whole time are there and can you can ask leading questions to get them to give you the information that you definitely didn't have.
Yeah.
But you offer to quiz the smart person.
Yeah.
And therefore learn the information for yourself. Like, they made the flashcards and they've already been studying.
Yep.
And they made flashcards on notes that you did not take. Because you can only make the flashcards from your notes or reading the textbook. And look, reading the textbook, we all know, the professors don't even use the textbook.
No.
If it's college.
The textbooks are not meant to be read.
The textbook's out. Don't even open it. So you have your notes based on the lectures.
$600 for these books that no one actually intended for anyone to read.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This class was at 9:00 in the morning and you didn't always go.
Yeah.
So you need to make friends with a smart person who goes and takes notes. And then that person is going to make some flashcards and they're going to be way better than your half-ass flashcards.
That's correct.
You take those flashcards and you say, let me quiz you, friend. And that's how you get an A on the test.
That's how that's also how you ingratiate yourself to them for next time. Like, this is kind of your first time. You can't have them thinking that you're showing up to study the study group unprepared. You want them to know that you're a study person just like they are, but you're going to come in and say, here, let's quiz each other. I'll quiz you first. So that way you have an you get a cheat sheet for the first round.
Use your notes from the first week of class, which everyone attended and everyone took good notes on, including you, before you lost interest and became cool and made friends.
Yeah, if it's like a group project to put together the flashcards, like you take this unit, call dibs on unit 1.
Yep. I'm trying to remember my group project strategy. I definitely had one.
Yeah.
I think I was like, I would edit or something. No, I always presented. I was like, I will present.
Yep.
You put it together and I'll talk about it. I was always good at that.
Shit the night before. We're good. You like that's your
We
deadline. I don't need any more than that.
A+ presentation right here.
Honestly, if you get it to me before the night before, I'm not going to look at it until the night before anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'll do some light editing. I'll do some putting together. Like you send me the stuff and I'll put it in the PowerPoint and then I will present it.
I will make it look very nice with lots of word art.
Yep. So much word art, like crazy. What were we using? We were using for a brief period while I was doing college, and I think it was like the height, the rise and fall of this. Something called Prezi. I don't think Prezi, you know?
Yeah. Prezi
I like dabbled.
I
dabbled in Prezi. Around. I have no idea. I would not know. I would not know.
Prettier PowerPoint.
Yeah, like, and stupider PowerPoint.
PowerPoint is probably at a place now where you could make it just as good.
I think people were really trying to make Prezi happen, and I don't think it outlived our college careers. I really don't.
I won't front. I used Prezi a good amount. It was they made some good looking presentations. Yeah,
because it was like the next generation of word art.
Yeah.
It was like, just give them the old razzle dazzle and you'll be okay. I used a Prezi, so I must be serious about
this. Just give me a little high res transition. That's all I need.
The thing is, I do know that in the very high up professional settings, they use PowerPoint. So the PowerPoint was not unseated at any point.
No,
you know?
No, Microsoft Office will live forever. Google Suite is definitely around. Google Suite
the Google version of Excel is terrible. Sheets? You can't be what Excel is.
This conversation is terrible. It's
actually not. Like, people have opinions about these things, all right? And so this will this will engage our listeners.
Will it?
Because I'm saying that Excel is way better than Sheets.
Our listeners are all 30-something-year-old professionals. Are they not? You're gonna look at the analytics and tell me that they're not, because they absolutely are. I know our listeners, and they are me, all right? And they care about these things. They do. Sure, you can share sheets with other people, but you can't put in all that good little programming in there, you know? Right.
The auto cell. You can do some of it, but it's not the same. They made it intentionally different. So if you learn Excel, you have to learn Sheets, and it's like the same but slightly different. It's stupid. Oh, for what? A Google vanity project? No. Excel forever.
I like Google Sheets.
You are a simpleton.
Idiot loser.
Get your brain right. Get your brain right, John.
That's our next tip. Get your brain right. How do you get your brain right, Emily? Well, how do you prep? How do you prepare your brain to receive information?
You got to feed yourself. All right. Hypoglycemia is a real thing. You don't want to be low blood sugar. All right. You don't want to be bottoming out when you're supposed to be,
Red Bull,
climbing the intellectual mountain.
It's the same, it's the same
Adderall
stuff. It's the same stuff that's branded to gamers. Okay. All of that stuff. Look for any snack food or snack drink designs with electricity on it.
No snacks.
That's the stuff you want.
Look, you need protein. No carbohydrates. All right, protein.
So there's two different approaches to this, and both of them are equally lentils. Is what I'm saying.
No, disagree. You gotta feed yourself. Maybe isolate yourself.
Emily,
I hate to quote Taylor, but there's what's the method? There's a method that is. What am I gonna call my lifeline? Taylor!
Oh my God.
What's that study method called? The one with the 10 minutes off? The Pomodoro method. Sorry, I had to call my lifeline.
It's after tomatoes?
You have to call you do the Pomodoro method, where you do like a certain amount of active study time.
Yeah.
with built-in breaks. And I think there's apps on your phone that will do it.
I tweeted about this not that long ago. It's the same thing as like the 20-20-20 rule when it comes to like working at your computer.
That's important. I had an eye doctor tell me that was important 2 days ago.
Here's the thing. It's not happening.
Relevant.
It's not happening. Look, I didn't get tested for ADHD. I don't get medication. If I'm working on a thing, I'm working until it's done, or else it's not gonna get done. I can't say, oh,
That's
my
true.
20-minute timer is going off. I have to stop now so I can rest my eyes. No. That shit's not getting done if I do that. I'm going to get up, walk away, and never come back.
100% I agree with you, John. I'm not trying to argue with you. For us ADHDs, we need to get our brains in the hyperfixation zone.
Yes.
And that is the only way that studying is happening. But for other people whose focus doesn't mean they're hyperfixating, which is like the only way I focus is through hyperfixation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you're of the bent where you can actually focus in a true and safe and healthy focus way, then I would say do the Pomodoro method, which is like a certain amount of minutes on and a certain amount of minutes break time. And I think, like I was saying before I was cut off, I was saying that I believe there are applications on your phone that will Pomodoro for you. So it will do the timer, but it will also, I think, lock down your phone in the in-between so that you can't like
study.
You don't need your phone to study.
You don't know that.
That's lesson number 3 or 4, whatever we're on. You don't need your phone to study. Like you can have it on you if you have self-control, which I know you do not.
No.
Neither do I. So you don't need your phone.
What if I took notes on my phone?
No, you didn't.
You didn't.
I know you didn't. Like, that's the thing is, first of all, no one takes notes on their phone unless it's a grocery list. All right. And second, you didn't. You didn't study. You didn't do the work through the semester. I know that. And I know you. How is there a cat in here? Sorry.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. How did you... The door was... Oh, well, I was talking to Taylor. He snuck in. Anyways,
all right. Do we want to kick it over to see how WikiHow did it?
Yeah, let's see how WikiHow did it before we go.
Okay. Improving your reading speed is their first tip.
Okay.
That sounds horrible. See, a lot of this, it seems like there's going to be a lot of reading involved. Taking notes.
Yeah, and that sounds boring.
Take notes on key points. Ignore small words. Good Lord. Does that count? Does it count as reading faster if you're skipping words? Also, how do you skip small words? You're not. If you,
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Hold on.
Oh my God.
We had an incident.
Your entire system crashed because you were trying to move a cat.
He was stepping on the keyboard. He could have stopped the recording. But he also trust fell into me. So, okay, we're gonna be okay, bud. We're gonna be okay. Gonna be okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay, bud. You gotta stop. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me make sure everything's still plugged.
Oh my God.
He really fucked it. He really did.
Love that.
He did a good. He's probably gonna bite me now. So, whatever. All right. Okay. I think we're okay. I'm sorry about the tapping.
Sounds fine.
Sorry about the tapping noises, everyone. Okay, cool. Sorry, my cat just fully fell into me and took all of the cables in my setup with it. Because he wanted to stand on the control key of my keyboard, which I could not allow to happen for like many reasons having to do with podcasting and computers. You cannot do this. I'm sorry. I can share how Taylor did it, which is actually sort of interesting because he had to do like tons of reading because he is a master's in English. So like he had to read. He basically just got a master's degree in reading, right?
Yeah. So
what he would do is he would download the PDF of the textbook, but he would also get the what's it called? The accessible version that was an audio version of the textbook. And so while he was reading, he would also play the audio of the textbook, like the audio reading of the textbook,
So you're taking
but
it in
do it
two
at
ways.
two times speed.
Oh.
So he would like speed read and listen to 2 times speed. So it's taking it in 2 ways, but also quick.
That is so stressful. You know what would be happening in my brain?
I would not.
My brain would be going like, wow, this is such a good idea. How did you think to do this? You're so smart. You're studying so good. Meanwhile, all the information is just going right by me.
I would also be congratulating myself. Like, whenever I took really good notes, I'd just look at them and be like, wow, these notes are really well formatted.
Wow,
good for you, Emily. Look at the she used 2 different types of highlighters.
Meanwhile,
Crazy.
teacher is still talking.
Look, we're into the studying part. This is not to the... We're not to the point where, you know, this is like assuming that you did the semester and however you did it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you did it like I did it, you attended 50% to 75% of the classes.
Oh my God, dude.
Like,
what were you doing is the thing. Like in my major,
sleeping.
We were not allowed to do that. That was not an option.
I was being depressed. Like, no, look, I also had a performance major.
Yeah.
I had a double major in biology and theater, which means that I convinced myself not to go to the biology classes because I was in a show. And the show was very important. I had to go do show thing. I had to memorize my lines or be dramatic about something or be sad about something. I'm being sad. And then my roommates were also performance majors. So they'd be like, yeah, man, you just had to rest, you know? Like, you're really stressed out right now. And that's not going to be good because we have a show coming up, you know? Like, it's all about the show.
People used vocal rest to get away with a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You can use vocal rest to get away with anything you want. I didn't even sing in anything.
But that's the thing is I never used it because I never needed it. Still to this day, I've never lost my voice. Like, straight up. It's never happened. And it's not, I drink beer all the time. My job is drinking beer. You're chugging a beer right now as we speak.
Excuse me, I was finishing it.
It is not for lack of trying to lose my voice. It's just never happened. I don't know why or how, but all throughout my vocal major, it just never happened. And so, like, there was part of me that was like, y'all are being overly dramatic, which I don't think is untrue, but I also don't think I'm totally correct. I think there's a middle ground where the truth actually lies.
Okay, so I think I did attend more classes than I think I did.
Probably.
Besides calculus, I like that. But
no one needs that.
No, I did attend class. I did. I really liked class and school and stuff like that.
This is a revelation.
I'm just saying that like sometimes the best notes were not taken. You know, sometimes you were starting because there's like the way we do college. I believe is wrong. Okay. I don't believe we should take 7 classes, 6 classes, 5 classes at a time. I don't think it's the best way to learn new information. I think that all universities at least should be on block scheduling, where you take 1 to 2 classes at a time for a shorter period of time and then move on to the next set of classes. Because my issue was never with the individual classes, it was with the juggling act, which is unfair and unreasonable to ask of people who will never have to do that ever again in their lives.
Yeah.
You'll never have to do that ever again in your life. You'll never have to do what we were expected to do in high school through college, which is take a million classes at the same time and expect to retain a bunch of different information all at the same time and then get tested on them all in the same, like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's stupid. You shouldn't be expected to do it. And it's bad. It's bad for you. So I would like do super well in everything and then get 1D.
Yeah.
Because how could you not? Something's got to, like literally had a saying that I was like, something's got to give. At the end of every semester, I would just come to the end and be like, something's got to give. I have to do poorly on something so I can excel at something else. And then it would have to be, okay, should I excel at the biology where no one will know if I fail? Or should I excel in theater where it will be very public humiliation if I get this bad?
It will be fully on display if I do poorly.
Yeah. Like the whole class will know if I fuck up my monologue, but no one will know if I get a C on an exam.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, it's most of it was my choices, but I blame the system.
Yeah. I think that's where, as with most episodes of Downtime with John and Emily, I think that's where we're going to end up on this issue, is that burn the whole system to the ground. It's all broken. It needs to be
it's bad.
Raised and built up back from nothing. Just to go back to the WikiHow really quick, they want you to improve your reading speed, which, first of all, I'm not studying by reading. That's not happening. I'm making flashcards, or I'm like reading aloud important sections over and over and over again to like really understand how the words are strung together in the way that they are, and why they are that way and what they mean in that orientation. I'm not just reading things and retaining information. That's never happened, and it never will happen. I will read a section and then kind of understand it, and then immediately need to regurgitate it to somebody else in my own words to prove to myself that I understood it. And only until then, only after that action will I actually have it memorized.
I do think I should have just had a dummy with me at all times in college just to explain things that I was learning too. Like, this is my little friend, and we're going to have a conversation about genetics right now. And this is how this works. This is how you do a chi-square, my little buddy. That is not a real thing, but I'm going to explain how to do chi-squares right now. You know what I mean?
Sit up straight. Go fuck yourself, WikiHow.
Die in a hole, WikiHow.
I'm gonna sit up straight. No, I'm going to get comfy. So that was method 1, was improving your reading speed, then developing an efficiently study practice.
Yeah, who needs to study now, WikiHow?
Who edited this? How many people were in charge of this?
Too many, probably.
It was co-authored by Nathan Fox, JD. LSAT teacher, founder of LSAT Demon. Sounds horrible.
It sounds bad.
Method 2, developing an efficiently study practice. Set up a study space. That's a good tip.
You should have a designated
study space.
It should not be the quad.
It's not the quad. We're back to this. You think it's the quad. It's not the fucking quad. There's people slacklining out there. Get away from that. That's too distracting.
You don't need that. You don't need that in your life.
Make an outline. What is that?
That's real.
Now we're doing criminal forensics.
Okay. So, but I feel like we did it. Like,
somebody
I feel like we
joke.
know.
I don't think you heard me, but
I didn't. No. I'm trying to.
Okay. They say pay attention in class. That's
the thing. We're past that.
We're way past that. We have already not paid attention in class.
Like, we're trying to make up for the fact that we did not pay attention.
Review your notes every day. This is not. Look, we're doing how to cram for a test. This article is supposed to be how to study fast. This is not the answer.
Mm-mm.
You're not.
No. Fast implies that the test is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you've done nothing up until then.
Like, if I followed all of these things, I don't need to cram, dog. What was your name? Fucking Nathan? Nathan, I don't need to cram. I've studied my class notes every single day. I don't need to fucking cram. I'm good, dude. What? This is nothing. You've made an article about nothing.
Nathan isn't real.
And I hope you're proud of yourself, Nathan.
I'm proud of us, John. And I feel like we have some good study tips, and we definitely I think for sure that people will know what not to do. From listening to us. Once again, we have just proven ourselves to be an invaluable resource to our listeners.
And honestly, we should be given government funding.
Honestly. Because, like, we're helping the people who have to take tests right now.
It's a free public resource to all of America.
Literally anyone in the whole world could listen to this and gain useful information from us.
Right.
We should apply for public.
We should. Just to see how thorough that process is.
Yeah, be like, Downtime with John and Emily is officially applying for a grant to become a publicly sanctioned resource.
I don't
to the
think
people.
I think they wouldn't even send anybody. I don't think they would even task anybody with listening to it. I
No.
think they would take us at our email, whatever email we put together, and they would probably deny us. And if they accepted it, I think it would go with fully without any, not a cursory passing glance.
I think next week's episode should be how to write a grant. And I think we're doing
how to
it.
apply for a grant, how to get a grant,
how to do a grant proposal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
People do it. Get some funding for Downtime.
Look,
Why ask our listeners?
I live in DC. I can drop it on somebody's doorstep.
Just put it. Just drop it at the top of Capitol Hill. Just sign
just
this
like that Schoolhouse Rock song.
Bill Grant into law. Grant. All right. We have a couple of people to thank.
I'd like to thank Ethan Gustafson for the use of his music as our intro and outro theme. You can find more work from Ethan at somepointsound.com. Also, congratulations to Ethan on becoming a new father.
Being a dad.
His baby is fucking very cute. And
so cute.
I hope that I know that.
And they already had like some pro pictures of her.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
very cute.
She's adorable. Anyway, thank you, Ethan, for all the work you do for us and the greater Outlaws Network. We appreciate you very much, and we wish you an amazing life with your adorable daughter.
Thank you so much to Natalie Spitzel for the use of her cover art. If you'd like to see more from Natalie, you can go to her Instagram at nms_creative or go to her website, nataliespitzel.com.
Check out everything else on the Outlaws Network. We are it is a podcast network of which Downtime with John and Emily is a part of. Go to the link tree that's in the description of this episode, and you can find everything having to do with the Outlaws Network. You can find our network Twitch channel, which we stream on frequently. You can find our network Discord, which is very fun. That's where you can chat at basically any time of day with basically anybody on the Outlaws Network if we're online. And then you can also find links to the shows and the social media accounts of all of the shows on the network, one of which being our sister podcast, The Bloody Stream. It is a horror movie review podcast. It's very fun and very funny. The format is very, very good. So if you see an episode about a horror movie that you think you want to watch, but you're not sure and you don't want it spoiled, the first part of the episode is always spoiler free. And then at a certain point in the episode, they open the spoiler configuration, and then that's when they get into the spoilers section. So it's always a safe listen. They give you a moment in the middle of the episode to be like, okay, if based on what we've already said, if you still want to go watch it, go like pause here, go watch it, and then come back and listen to the rest. And they also, this is also a very great feature that they've recently started doing. They started saying like how important they think it is to watch the movie before listening, which is crucial. Because I don't watch hardly any of the movies. There's a couple that I have watched because they were like, you cannot listen to this episode unless you have watched the movie. Like, stop right now. Do not listen to this. And I've actually stopped and gone and watched and then come back. But most of them I don't watch, and it's very helpful to have that little note. Like, we don't really think it's that important. We're not going to really... There's not much to spoil here. Just like, you're fine to listen to this whole episode and then go watch it if you want. Which, it's very good. It's a very well-formatted show. It's very fun, very funny. There's guests very frequently. Emily and I have both been on it. Check them out at thebloodystream.com, and you can also check them out on their social media at bloodystreampod.
All right, thank you so much for listening. My name is Emily Downey.
I'm John Downey.
Slackliners in the quad. I will fight you.
I will fight you. Keep that button hot.